Welcome, Scorpio, to your Scorpio full moon 2 week deep dive video for the ascendant, the sun or the moon, across the 1st, 2nd of May, depending on where you are. The moon in Scorpio at 11 degrees 20 goes face to face with the sun in the earthy practical Taurus. Full moons are when the sun and the moon are not integrated. They're competing, unlike a new moon. And that's why we get a lot of tension. We can talk about lunations generally, even Scorpio full moons, but each has its own individual identity. I'm going to share with you on screen this event, but from a purely scorpionic viewpoint. By the end of the video, you'll have a clearer understanding around energy, work, relationships, and finances, what the next fortnight holds for you. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. So on the screen is the moon. And the moon in the sign of Scorpio can be rather tender. It's in its fall, so it can be maybe a bit protective. But the first house for you personally is around your identity, and you're going to feel more emotional about that over the next 2 weeks. But the sun on the other side of the heavens for the last 11 days has been in your sector of relating, but also your sector of competing and boundaries. And if you feel over the next 2 weeks broadly that someone is not respectful of your sensitivities, that's when you can push back. But all of the intensity can be amped up this year because of the role of your modern ruler, Pluto. He's going to be making his way for many years through the 4th house. He's been here for 2 years full time. You may already have been renovating a property, moving home, detaching from emotional relationships that don't work for you. But he's in a T square with the moon and also the sun. And that brings extra animation to the intensity, particularly because the 4th house can be itself very much to do with sensitivities. However, the North Node, very much to do with our instinctive direction of travel, is in a glorious location for you and in a lovely trine with the moon. So if your relationships or the key relationships you have are well aligned, this lunation isn't going to challenge them. But it's where something isn't working, particularly the relationship could be with yourself, to be honest. If you need to reset how you are, how you your posture to your connections to others. We also need to be mindful of your traditional ruler Mars. Now Mars has shrugged off the limiting, draining energy of Neptune and the more lowering of vitality of Saturn, and is now freer. That's very, very good for your core energy. But Mars is in a square with Jupiter, the planet of abundance, but also of philosophies and faith in that 9th house, particularly. If there is something you want to go for and it is requiring you to be competitive, this is a very helpful influence. But it's also important when to know enough is enough, not to try too hard. The other thing we need to be conscious of, I feel, is Uranus and Venus, because they're in the 8th house, which has an echo of the energy of Scorpio. Transformational, deep, passionate, intense, but can give us an opportunity to really understand where we're going more into devotion or where we're perhaps breaking free of it. If you are attracted to someone at the moment and the attraction is both charismatic, magnetic, but also emotionally safe, this can be a very positive full moon for you because of Venus's very helpful link to Pluto. It may be that the attraction you have is almost hard to understand in some kind of way. It's a karmic connection, possibly. You're just drawn in deeper and deeper, and that can prove magical. So I'm going to summarize those 4 areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. Scorpio. But just to say, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscopes. It's now three for the price of one. You pay for your life roadmap report, which helps us to understand patterns that have played out in our lives so far, but get a much more intimate understanding of how to work with them future forwards. You get free your 12 months transit, but also your draconic soul karmic analysis report. Why? Because of the energy, the cost of energy around the world. I am aware that people are feeling that pinch, but also because I'm passionate about sharing natal astrology. I've been into astrology since I was 14, and knowing our chart can help us to navigate this life so much better. Please see below for more. If you've yet to watch your May deep dive monthly forecast on the screen, yet to watch your Uranus into Gemini 1 year forecast on the screen, if you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it would be a pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to take advantage of signing up for your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop, please see below for that too. So, to summarize, as far as relationships are concerned, if one is out of kilter and it feels that someone's using a lot of emotional control, perhaps even leverage, it is time to seriously think about walking away. And Uranus can help you to consciously uncouple. However, if you're connecting to someone where it does feel mutual and they're also in touch with you emotionally and also romantically, I feel you have nothing to fear. Venus linking to Pluto could see you forging a soul connection. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. When it comes to a professional situation, Mars having broken free of the limitation of Saturn in your sixth house, linking very strongly to Jupiter, the most northerly player in your chart, suggests a mixture of action, energy, and thrust and enthusiasm could capture someone's imagination. But the details still count. When it comes to your physical energy, I feel that that can be better over this next 2 weeks, as long as you're not in any corrosive relationship situation. When it comes to your prospects for finance, I think Venus, the planet of finance, is forging that fabulous link to Pluto. It is in a square to the North Node, so it's just suggesting that if you're thinking of pooling your finances with someone else, just don't rush, don't get ahead of yourself, particularly with that Mars in quite an impatient position this particular fortnight. I hope you have a very positive Scorpio full moon. Thank you so much for joining me and looking forwards to seeing you again soon.